summer. Another round of applause for our graduates. So amazing. Welcome everyone to the 2017 Shabazz graduation ceremony. My name is Eric Soderblom and I'm the principal here. I've been the principal here for 8 years. I've had a privilege of being here for 8 years. It's been really a wonderful time and I'm looking forward to many more years. So we celebrate tonight. Primarily, we're celebrating the accomplishments of this group over here in achieving this milestone in their lives. They worked hard. They took positive risks in order to learn, to grow, to change, and so there they are. Let's give them another round of applause. Thank you. And I would be remiss not to also note that we're celebrating Shabazz as an institution. 46 years Shabazz has been around in the city of Madison. And it was 46 years ago that it was actually 2 separate schools at one point, but groups of educators came together and decided that education could be done a little bit differently. And they formed 2 separate schools. They came together to form Malcolm Shabazz City High School. And we're very proud of living in that, their legacy. And we owe a lot to those founders. So I don't know if we have any founders here tonight. Sometimes they come and join us. But again, just reminding ourselves of the history and where we've been and hopefully leading us forward into the future. There are so many people to thank tonight. I think primarily we're going to thank the parents, families, and friends of our graduates who have been here with them their whole lives, supporting them to get to this place. So let's recognize our families and parents. They really couldn't have done it without you, and I think we may hear some of those words tonight. I also want to thank our Shabazz staff over here. Maybe give a round of applause for our Shabazz staff. This staff is amazing, and you've probably heard the stories from the graduates about how they have been instrumental in really, I think, creating opportunities for students that can transform lives. So I can't say enough about this staff. They're incredible people. And again, I think you'll hear testaments to how amazing they are tonight. So another round of applause for our Shabazz staff. We also want to thank this, again, Shabazz exists within a system, and it's been amazing. We've been getting amazing support from that system, from central office and from the school board, and we have representatives over here. TJ Mertz will be up here in a little bit, and we have Jen Cheatham, our superintendent, is here tonight. So let's thank them for all they've done to keep Shabazz around and to support Shabazz. Thank you for coming. We also have a special thank you tonight because Tina Murray is retiring, and this is her last graduation as a teacher. So let's give a round of applause for Tina. It's a standing ovation. She deserves it. I always try to say a few words for the retirees. I don't know if Tina will appreciate it because she's like, but I'm going to say them anyways. She doesn't want to be talked about. But you may have heard this, but Tina is fond of saying, "You don't know what you don't know." And I think some of our folks over there know that. But I don't think we know what life at Shabazz is going to be like without Tina Murray. It's one of those things we don't know. What we do know is that Tina brought passion and purpose to her work at Shabazz. Amongst her many roles at Shabazz, she ran our experiential learning classes, and part of that running experiential learning really is about engaging students in opportunities to challenge themselves, to solve problems collaboratively, to take risks, to push themselves outside of their comfort zone. And I don't think anybody does it better than Tina in supporting, balancing, supporting students in taking risks and maintaining high expectations, and really not letting go until that electric fence is crossed. I don't know, there's an activity that the groups in her classes do, which is crossing this electric fence. They have to do it as a group. And I've been in there many times observing, and it has to be perfect. And the students get frustrated because it's hard to do, because it's a group activity. And somehow Tina counsels, cajoles, and helps students to reflect on getting to that point where they can accomplish that task. And if you know anything about mastery learning or how you build self-efficacy, it's through those challenges and through pushing yourself into that area of discomfort is where you actually start, and reflecting on who you are is where you start building that sense of self-efficacy. And no one does it better than Tina. So let's celebrate Tina and all the work that she's done. So just a couple of those lessons. I noticed I had this other stuff written down. So here are the lessons from Tina, and some of the graduates may recognize it, but you could hear Tina saying this: stay in the moment, stay in the conversation, solve the problem in front of you, and don't let your past dictate your future choices. So hopefully, the graduates, you can remember those wise words. Thank you, Tina. We'll clap again. What the heck? I screwed up. Thank you. We were also, Nathan Lee, our math teacher, I just want to say that he's moving over to West High School, so he's not going to be at Shabazz anymore. So thank you, Nathan, for all the work you've done. And he was with us for a couple years, and he's still in the district. And Kathleen Kim also is not going to be at Shabazz, but is still in the district teaching. So we want to thank Kathleen for all her years. I think was here as long as Tina in supporting students in learning Spanish. I have this stuff written down, but I'm wondering if people would indulge me. Every quarter, well now every semester, we do all school gatherings, and I usually have a chance to talk to students just as a whole group. So I'm just going to kind of treat this as the last all school gathering. I'm going to talk to the graduates a little bit, and they probably get tired of me. And maybe I need to give a little background for the folks in here, because there's this saying, this Pablo Neruda quote. You can hear him groaning over here. It's something I say every all-school gathering, and I say it so often that they practically know it by heart. But I think I'm just going to read it out, and then I'm going to talk to this group. So I believe Pablo Neruda, when he was accepting a Nobel Prize for poetry, said these words. And I learned this, actually, I was first exposed to this when I was a student teacher here at Shabazz in 1997. And even then, when I read those first words while I was student teaching at Shabazz, I thought, this is the heart of Shabazz. So I'm just going to say these words, and then I'm going to talk to the graduates here, if you'll indulge me a little bit. So Pablo Neruda wrote and spoke, there is no insurmountable solitude. All paths lead to the same goal. to convey to others what we are. And we must pass through solitude and difficulty, isolation and silence, in order to reach forth to that enchanted place where we can dance our clumsy dance and sing our sorrowful song. Yes, they know it. It's not quite done yet, but thank you. But in this dance and in this song, sometimes I forget, are fulfilled the most ancient rights of our conscience in our awareness of being human and believing in a common destiny. So those are the words. Yeah, those are amazing words. So my words to you in this last all-school gathering, we talk a lot about, at Shabazz, in the context of Shabazz, how we support each other within this small community. And how do we take care of each other? And how do we also learn to take those risks so that we can grow and change? You're leaving our community. You're going out into the world. I hope as you go out into that world, you're able to continue to take those risks. And sometimes it means that you dance clumsily, right? We're all human and we're not perfect. And sometimes it means that we're going to encounter sorrows. And I know I've shared some of those sorrows with you, and challenges and obstacles. And I know this group, right? When we talk about what is intelligence, it's that ability to overcome obstacles, solve problems in order to reach that goal. And I can say without a doubt, this group, you have done it. You have demonstrated that ability by being here today in overcoming those obstacles, solving those problems. As you go out into that world, think about how do you become a seed that's out there supporting each other and supporting those families, those workplaces, those people in the schools, and make this world a better place. And I hope that you'll remember some of those things as you go out, and remember Pablo Neruda's words. And I wish you all the best. I wish you all the best. We're going to miss you. All right, so congratulations, class of 2017. What happens next is we're going to have some speakers, we're going to give away some scholarships, and then the best part, we have staff introducing our graduates, and they'll have a chance to speak. And it's those words make this, it's their voices, and it's always been their voices at Shabazz. It's always been the student voices. Are listening to, supporting, challenging student voices that makes Shabazz Shabazz. It really is. And so tonight we celebrate that voice as we give everybody a last opportunity to put that voice into the world about how they experience Shabazz. So I'm going to welcome TJ Mertz, our school board member, and he's going to say a few words. Thank you.
I always like being at Shabazz graduation. Is this, actually, there we go. That's a little bit better. No, I'd rather have it on. I like doing it this way. Anyway, I'm here on behalf of the school board and the community we represent, first and foremost, to congratulate the graduates. And they've had enough applause to start with for tonight. They'll get more later. And also, in addition, to congratulate the families and friends who've helped bring them to this point. And, you know, can't forget our educators, because together, all of this have accomplished a lot with these young people. And so that's the first one. And so congratulations to all of you. Traditionally, graduation speakers are supposed to offer some kind of words of wisdom. And I'm not ever quite sure why. I think it's this urge to teach one extra lesson. And I'm going to try to do a very little bit of that very, very briefly. I think that most of the people, if you end up graduating from Shabazz, you haven't travel the straight path and easy path, but rather have found your own way, followed your passions, encountered obstacles, and gone past it. And I think that's true of anyone graduating or moving on in any sense, but especially with people from Shabazz. And I want to encourage the graduates. The first piece of the wisdom is to define success for yourself. Don't let others define success for you. And having traveled that path, I think you've had opportunities to learn that lesson already, but I want to reinforce it. The second one is kind of a larger picture, is that you're graduating at a time when many of the ideas and things, and most especially the people who many people in this room care so much about, are threatened and under attack. And it's a very difficult time to be entering adulthood and moving on and transitioning. And many of us feel this deeply and don't know how to deal with the emotions and the other reactions and the people who we feel are threatening what we love and care about, and especially the people we care about. And the other day I was at a meeting and Alderwoman Barb McKinney said something, and I was thinking earlier today, well, what wisdom have I heard lately? And I heard something from Barb that I thought was very, very wise, and I want to pass it on, which was, Barb said, expect good intentions. And when we find ourselves in conflicts, and I think that many of us do find ourselves in conflicts, that's an important way to be, to expect good from others, expect other people to have good intentions. Now Barb knows, Barb's not naive, Barb knows that some people don't have good intentions, and she also knows that good intentions don't always lead to good outcomes. But if you start by valuing people and respecting people and expecting their good intentions, I think you can find peace in easier ways. And then the final words are, continue to follow your passions. Continue to define yourself, don't let others define you. And with those words, once again, congratulations from the community.
So we have Anita Samansky is going to come up and announce our scholarships. Anita is our guidance counselor.
Good evening. Welcome. It's great to see you all here to share this very happy, proud occasion and milestone for our awesome students. I have the honor of presenting awards and scholarships to our graduating seniors. For the first award, please come up to the podium when I call your name. The Academic Excellence Scholarship, a 4-year scholarship from the state of Wisconsin, goes to Hannah Kwiatkowski. Next, the prestigious Madison Rotary Foundation 4-year scholarships, which go to 2 students who've given significant service to their school and/or community while overcoming significant obstacles and are committed to earning their 4-year degree. First, Solja Gamble. And next, Hannah Kwiatkowski. Solja and Hannah have already been honored at the Rotary Luncheon and received their certificates there. The next group are for the Madison Rotary Club of Madison Awards, and there are 3. I'm going to call them up, and you can all come up together. For the Senior Academic Improvement Award, Liam Nikolai. The Outstanding Senior Award goes to Izzy Olson Valdez. Izzy also has already received her award from the Rotary Club at their luncheon. And the Senior Academic Achievement Award goes to Luna Abresh. There they are, our Rotary Club Award winners. Thank you. Next, I'd like to introduce Kevin Devine to present the Devine Family Foundation 4-year scholarship.
Hi, everybody. My name is Kevin Devine, and it's always a pleasure. It's always a pleasure to attend Madison's most enthusiastic and heartfelt graduation ceremony. So I'm here to present the Devine Family Scholarship. This was a scholarship that was set up by my parents. My dad grew up during the Great Depression on a farm outside of Portage. Got a couple of lucky breaks, was able to graduate from the University of Wisconsin and became very successful. And my parents also always had a desire to help everybody. They helped their family, their extended family, and when they passed on, they left a legacy to help students because education was the key for my father bettering his life. And so every year we ask the Madison High Schools to pick a senior based not so much on academics, but instead in terms of desire to learn, community or family service, and just the desire to improve their lives. And this year, our scholarship recipient from Shabazz is Taylor Liska.
Next, Jerry Roscoe of the Masonic Lodge Hiram 50 Foundation.
Thank you. Before I invite our recipient up here for this year, I would just like to give you a little bit of information about the Wisconsin Scholarship Matching Funds. Last year, the recipient from Shabazz was Danny Hoppy, and I hope he used his money well. So last year, there were 135 lodges that participated in giving scholarships for the Wisconsin Masonic Matching Fund Scholarship Plan. And at that time, they had donated $260,650 to students from all over the state. Now, this year, I would like to invite Melissa Cass Grunlack up to the podium, please. Melissa? Well, this certificate is a certificate of educational excellence. This would have been presented to you last month at our scholarship dinner, which didn't come off because, well, I don't know, lack of, I don't know just what it all was. Anyway. And most of you people think that the Masons are going to take over the world. Well, we can't even get a scholarship dinner online. So anyway, this is the certificate that you would be receiving. And like they say, well, the check is not in the mail. The check is in Shabazz's account. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Now, this, we would like, if you would, to send a picture and send it to Lyle. and then we'll get it into the sign journal. Thank you.
And last but not least, the Shabazz Scholarships. These are presented to Shabazz graduating seniors who turned it around here, have a post-high school plan, and filled out the Shabazz Scholarship application. Please come up when I call your name and stay on the stage until all the recipients are up here. And please hold your applause until the end. Luna Abresh. Melissa Cass-Gunlock, Jake Erickson, where's Jake? Zoe Field. I guess the holding your applause idea is not a good idea. We should all cheer each time. Autumn Hinrichs, Winter Cress Russick, Isaiah Miller, Sean Spanum, Franny Turiel, Sam Witten, and Trey Williams. Congratulations, Shabazz Scholarship recipients.
Thank you.
I am sorry, Solja, I forgot to call your name. Please come back up to the stage. Double congratulations.
So we're now going to bring our students up onto the stage, and they'll be introduced by a staff member. So Robert Banks, our science teacher, is going to come up to introduce some students.
I'm not generally political at these events, but Kofifi. This has been, so I know tonight is not about me really at all, but I'm going to indulge myself a little bit. This has been a very hard year for me. As Mr. Mertz referred to earlier, the environment, I have felt like, what am I doing with my life? What is going on in the community? And when I really started to despair, along comes graduation, and I start looking at the list of students I'm going to be introducing to you, and I feel hope, and I see the promise, not just in the few that I'm going to call up, but in this whole group. And it's, actually I'm not dreading going into next year, as I started thinking about it. I'm going to call each of you up. I'd like you to form up behind me. I'm going to give you a brief introduction. It's going to be super brief. And then when I'm done, you need to exit the stage and work your way through all the staff who all want to congratulate you. And then when you get all the way through, you can go back and sit down. Is that all right? All right, so I'd like Winter Cress Russick, Melissa Cass-Gunlock, Carl Peterson, Sky Pawelka, and Sabrina Bauman to join me up here. And so in the interest of brevity, I'm just going to pick someone at random and we'll go with Carl. Carl is one of those people that I felt a real bond with because we both have a dark and twisted sense of humor that overlays a real compassion for others and an understanding of the world that exceeds that of most people. So Carl,
You don't need to worry, I won't bring that dark and twisted sense of humor, because this is supposed to be a happy occasion. And Shabazz, for all of its faults, is a happy school. The students are great, the teachers are even better. There's some nice old lady in there that taught me how to fly fish. And it was a good time. But yeah, this is one of the only places I've ever been where I can see myself 20 or 30 years down the line, not having any real tie to the place, but still wanting to come back and make sure that it's well cared for. And it's not something easy to do.
The shade.
So I'm getting the don't call me part, but that's the fun part of being a teacher.
That means so you should know.
So, all right, Winters volunteer. Please, sweetheart. We're gonna knock him dead.
Sorry.
There.
Okay. All right, so I didn't really know what to say, so I just wrote a short poem. It's called Believe in Yourself. Believe in yourself and in your dream, though impossible things may seem. Someday, somehow, you'll get through to the goal you've had in view. Mountains fall and seas divide before the one who in their stride takes a hard road day by day, sweeping obstacles away. Believe in yourself and in your plan. Say not, I cannot, but I can. The prizes of life we fail to win when we doubt the power we have within. Thank you.
Sabrina, would you come up to the podium? So you all need to know that Sabrina has been, she started her post-high school life a little early and came tonight and did not realize that this was going to happen. So she's being very brave, and let's welcome her.
I just want to thank my family and staff for supporting me through my last 2 years at Shabazz. I'm so thankful to have had the opportunity to have come to Shabazz. Thank you so much.
Melissa Caskudler.
Oh my God. So I wrote something because I'm probably gonna ugly cry. Don't judge me. I guess I want to start off by saying thank you. I want to thank my wonderful teachers who actually care about me. They go above and beyond what they should. I want to thank them for telling me I can be whatever I want to be and saying that they're proud of me. Thank you for everything you've done for me. I want to thank my amazing friends who stuck with me even when I didn't talk and I didn't really do anything. I want to thank everyone who kept pushing me and helping me be the strong woman I am today, who I'm really proud of. Lastly, I want to thank Shabazz, because before I came here, I had given up on myself. I'd lost hope and I hit rock bottom. But as cheesy as it sounds, coming here, I found myself again. And I became this person who I wouldn't even recognize 3 years ago. I've graduated high school in 3 years, that's crazy. So thank you.
So last and not least is Sky, who was just dropping by. And when we realized, hey, you're a senior, so in the same boat as Sabrina, so let's be really supportive for Sky Pawelka.
I just want to thank all the teachers and staff at Shabazz for helping me get through high school in general and helping me graduate on time when I didn't think I would. So.
So good to see you again. I'm so proud of you.
So just an addendum, Sky was here and then went to Sun Prairie and is graduating in the Sun Prairie graduation. But as we do, any student who was here and then successfully graduates somewhere else, we have that opportunity to come back. Sky showed up out there. I said, Sky, why don't you walk on the stage? So that's how that worked out. So we're glad she came back. And next we have Katie Jones, our social studies teacher, will introduce the next group.
Okay. First of all, I want to, I talked to Jean yesterday, and Jean Delcourt asked me to congratulate you, seniors, and to thank you for all the work that you've done at Shabazz and as being members of ROAD if you were in ROAD. Anyway. I would like to call up Trey, Zoe, Molly, and Melissa McDowell. What I decided to do was just run down a list of words that describe the sort of persons that each of them are and the work that they've done here at Shabazz and their contributions to the Madison community and communities outside Madison. When I think about these young women, I think about their fierceness, I think about their relentlessness. They are all perfectionists, and for that we got many, many projects done. By the way, they're all members of community activism. They are all extremely articulate. For that, it's been wonderful in terms of getting projects going and being facilitators for different events in the community and outside the community. They're very caring, supporting other students, mentoring each other when they need to get something done. They're dynamic in the sense that they have so much energy that it's so amazing because it rubs off on the other students. When other students might feel a little low or something, you can count on these young ladies to actually pull them up and get them going. They are also very, very focused on their future. They're always talking about it. And frankly, yes, they're teenagers, but they are wise beyond being teenagers. I've listened to them talk about issues and classes, and they've had a number of classes with me, and every time they're processing way beyond their years. And they're also thinking about the world and global issues in the sense of where am I in all those issues and what can I do about it? Not just watch it, but what can I do about it? They're also women that are organizers, planners, and collaborators, always wanting to do something but do it with other people. And the mission of Shabazz in terms of our SIP goal is not just for teachers but for students to be collaborators, working together on projects that carry them into the future. That would go to say, when I think about Tina and the fact that she's retiring, yes, she did the PGT curriculum. Jean did the Road to Indian Country, and I'm doing community activism. But when it's all said and done, all of us chip in together to design leaders for the future. Thank you, Tina. I will lastly mention that all of them are really excellent in terms of presenting and doing projects, but that's because they're excellent researchers. They're also writers and artists and mentors, like I said, teachers, they're historians, they're activists, and they're especially community activists. I would like to say that they are future leaders, but more importantly, when I think about where they're going, I think about they are people that you can count on to get something done. They are young people that you can count on to be advocates for social justice. I want them on my side. I think you will too. They are going to speak about their future. I can tell you it's going to be wonderful, and I can tell you that they will be back as leaders beyond your imagination. We'll first go with, why don't we go with Trey first?
I'm usually really bad at speaking, but it's my last day in Shabazz, and I just want to thank everybody. I just want to thank all the teachers and the students, all the friends that I've made. Thanks to you, I made it. And I didn't think I was, but I did. Thank you so much.
Okay, so first off, I'd like to thank my parents, obviously, for getting me through my 4 years. I'd like to thank all the teachers who put up with me through everything, and all my friends. And then also, I'd just like to say, Shabazz kind of changed my life in a sense, because it gave me a passion that I didn't know I had. It helped me find my voice as a person, as an activist, everything.
Okay, is this in the right spot? Yeah, we're fine. All right, so first of all, I'd like to apologize for not wearing my cap. It doesn't fit my head. So here I am without a cap. I'm still graduating though. Everyone comes up here and they thank Shabazz for everything Shabazz does for them, but I just don't think it's very fitting. Shabazz is just this building. It's a part of Sherman Middle School, and we come here every day, and we come to learn. And I really think the thanks goes to all of these wonderful teachers. I never in 1,000 years dreamed of going to such an amazing school. Ever in my life. I never dreamed of having these amazing teachers that have changed my life every single day, and I've never dreamed of coming to a school with a support system like my graduating class and the class before mine. This has just been such an amazing experience, and I'm so lucky to have ever taken a part of it. And I'm so lucky to be standing here. I've been to all 4 graduations at this school, because I started as a freshman a little bit earlier than a lot of the students here. And I've seen 4 Shabazz graduations, one of them in which I'm a part of, which I never dreamed of. Even at the last year's one, I was like, oh, it's not gonna be me, but here I am. And so just one last thanks to these amazing teachers that touch every student here's life. You guys are amazing. Everything you do is so worth it, and I thank you so much for hanging in there every single day. We love you guys a lot.
So I came to Shabazz right out of middle school, and I was terrified to go to high school. But this place gave me a home and a family that I could depend on and count on to be there for me through thick and thin, no matter what I did. And I just want to thank all the teachers for supporting me through so many hard times that I've had, and so many struggles with my academics and my home life.
And I want to thank all the graduating students and the students who aren't graduating but will be for being there and supporting me as well and showing me that I did belong somewhere. So I just want to thank you all.
Up next is Rachel Schramm, our art teacher. Can I say new mother too? I was like tempted to say new mother too. Can I?
I'll say something. Good evening, everyone. I've been on maternity leave these last 6 weeks, so that tells you how special this senior class is. I had to come back just to see them off, so. Can I invite Zoe Dennis, Franny Trail, and Grace Hyman up to the stage, please? So this year, I tried to sort of distill down each student to a single word. So I'm going to start speaking about Franny today. And the word I chose for Franny is complexity. I think most teachers at Shabazz would agree that you think you know who Franny is, but time and time again, she shows you surprisingly new layers to her identity. I personally discovered that she is incredibly intelligent, kind, passionate, creative, and authentic. During art class, I would think I had Franny figured out, but then she would do or say something that revealed her complexity and depth. Franny, as you leave our halls on your new adventures after high school, I hope you continue to show those around you the many layers that make you special. So congratulations to Franny.
Thank you so much, Rachel. All right, so like many of my other graduating class members and everyone else at Shabazz, I had a hard time my freshman year. I went to a big school. A lot of people that I wasn't really friends with. I did make a couple friends, but not half as many as I have at Shabazz. Shabazz has really just shown me a whole new side to what education can be. I would have had no idea if I stayed at my public school, my first school. I wouldn't have had no idea that teachers can be as amazing as the teachers are here. I aspire to be like my teachers. My teachers have shown me who I want to be and what I want to be like as an adult and a friend and a teacher. And you know, it was really an honor to go here. Thank you.
The next student I'm going to talk about is Grace, and the word I chose for Grace is compassion. For Grace, sorry, it was an easy word to choose because when I think about her and her time at Shabazz, all it is connected is to helping those around her, whether it was taking on topics she cared about through art, helping friends in need, providing support for the people at Pine Ridge during Road to Indian Country, or restoring natural habitats during PGT. I think whatever path Grace finds herself in, she will do it with a lot of love and positive influence to give to the world around her. So congratulations to Grace.
I'm really bad at making speeches. I just really want to thank my family. Sam, I'm glad you made it. And all the teachers, you've always been there for me, no matter what it was, however small it was. I could find a teacher to talk to. Lori, I'm always going to remember our little adventure. I'm really glad that we got that time together.
The last student I'm going to speak about today is Zoe. For Zoe, I chose the word strength. It is very rare that someone so young sees the incredible value in struggle and how that struggle leads to strength. During my time these last 2 years, I've seen Zoe go from someone who had a hard time feeling comfortable being in school to a student who thrived when presented with challenges. In the art room, she asked, "What type of art makes me uncomfortable? I'll focus on that." A student who often didn't participate during discussion became a teaching assistant who led the discussions. Zoe is leaving Shabazz as a strong, capable, creative force. I have no doubt we will be hearing more about her in the future. Congratulations to Zoe.
It was nice to like school again after not liking it for a really long time. And also, it was cool that I could take 1 or 2 or 3 art classes every quarter, because that's what I like to do, and I got to do it, so yeah.
Up next is Lori Bennett, our resource teacher and our instructional coach. Lori.
Good evening. I'm so happy we have a new stage and new steps. They're a little less precarious than they've been. And you guys, especially, you're wearing heels, many of you. Just be careful, all right? I'm going to call up several students. Autumn Hinrichs, Jack Cullen, Jovan Lozano, Izzy Olson Valdez, and Indigo Tripp.
I love how your hair looks with your cap.
I'm going to start with Jack. Jack finished, he wasn't with us at all this quarter, so we've kind of missed having him around. I had Jack in several classes over the years. How many quarters have you been here? 7. Okay, Jack was here 7 quarters. And he definitely made his mark on Shabazz. He's great in the art room. He's a skateboarder. He's working, and he's planning on staying in Madison and doing a lot of skating. Here's Jack Cullen.
Yeah, so I started at Shabazz in my junior year, and honestly, it changed like who I am as a person completely, and it like helped it being me and my personality, but it helped it being school, but then it helped it being my personality grow and thrive and whatnot because of like just like the community vibe. Like you can't even like I could sit here for a long time and sputter on about how like this community is like a word that like can't be described, but like it perfectly describes like how I interpret my experience at Shabazz. And I don't know, I just want to thank like all the teachers for like helping me with school and teaching me from in the past 7 quarters. I'd like to thank my friends and my family for just being there in my life and supporting me. Yes, thank you.
Had to let Jack speak for himself. Next is Autumn. Autumn has been at Shabazz for about 6 quarters. The time frame's a little bit longer than that. She took a little break last semester, and thank God she came back to us because we really missed her. My greatest memory of Autumn was when we went canoeing with the Rivers, Rocks, and Ropes class, and she was just a trooper and really worked hard, and she's just a really sweet person that everyone should get to know. Her plan is to work a little bit and perhaps go to Madison College and figure things out from there. Autumn Hinrichs.
I don't really have much to say, but thank you to my family and especially my teachers. They've really helped me out and got me through 6 quarters. So thank you to all these people.
Jovan Lozano. So Jovan has been at Shabazz for 6 quarters, and he was in my class, I think, every quarter except for this last one. So we've had to have a bit of a separation from each other. Jovan is one of those kids where kind of hangs out, and then all of a sudden it's the end of the quarter, and he's like, oh my God, what do I have to do? What do I have to do? And then he does it. So Jovan is planning on going to Madison College this next year. Not sure for what, the transfer program, because he wants to do more than that. But he'll figure it out. Jovan Lozano.
I had a speech, but I kind of lost it, so I'm going to have to go off my head now. But before I came to Shabazz, I wasn't too sure where I was going in life. I wasn't doing that well in school. And I came here, and the community has really helped me change and, get back on track. It has really changed who I am as a student and as a person. You guys have really helped me grow. And I want to thank my dad, Manuel. I want to thank Shiva. I want to thank Kathy, my sister Jody, and my brother Nick. You guys have been, the biggest support through this whole journey of mine, and I really appreciate it. And I also want to thank all my friends for making every day lit at school. You guys know who you are. And I want to thank the entire staff of Shabazz for helping me through everything. And thank you guys.
Next is Indigo Tripp. So I don't know if you noticed, but Indigo is wearing this white shawl, a sash. There's another student who has one too, and I'm going to let them explain to you what that is. It's a sash of honor, and it's from his home school because it's an indication of how hard he has worked all of your 4 years. And did it start in middle school? It started in the summer before high school. So Indigo has worked incredibly hard over his years of high school to get where he is. And it's going to continue even this summer because he's already starting at UW-Madison with some classes this summer. So we're really proud of him. I'll let him speak for himself. Indigo Tripp.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, I guess, first can I just thank my family, especially my mother, and all my other friends who have been there for me and supported me throughout these last 4 years. Can I also thank all my teachers, all my wonderful teachers who have really just opened my eyes up and helped me really experience the best that I have been able to experience. Just thank you, everybody. I'm excited.
Izzy Olsen Valdez. So Izzy has been with us for 7 quarters. And I've worked pretty closely with Izzy during that time. And I've really appreciated all the times that she would come into my office and we'd just sit and chat. And we'd talk about school policy, we'd talk about how things were going in her classes, just about a lot of different things. And I've really appreciated getting to know Izzy. We have a nice connection. She's planning on starting out at Madison College in the transfer program, and then perhaps going to Edgewood. Izzy is very detail-oriented and very observant, and she did a stint in the office, and that was like perfect work for her because she got some systems going in there. And she wants to take those skills and perhaps go into criminal investigation. It's just a thought at this point. Izzy Olsen Valdez.
So obviously I'd like to thank my family, especially my dog Pedro, who welcomed me every day I got home from school. I'd like to thank all the teachers that teach at Shabazz and all the teachers that teach in general because it's a hard job. But more specifically, I'd like to give some shout outs real quick. I'd really like to appreciate Lori, Dan, Denise, who I don't see here. She must be sick because she would be here. Robert, Aaron, Eric, yes, thank you. And Gil, but he's not here. Thank you.
Up next is the one and only Peter Fee. And I do have to say, as Peter comes up, Peter is taking a leave of absence this next year. He's going off to a really cool and exciting master's program, but we expect him to be back in a year, but just want to acknowledge that we're going to miss Peter next year, and here he is. Math science.
Last Friday at the talent show, a student said, in a complimentary, this was a compliment, and I said, Peter, he knows how to make simple things complex. Sorry, Eric. Welcome to Shabazz Here and Now. I have three beautiful guests with me today. One is Maggie Bennett, Noah Frutiger, and Sam Witten. So today we have a conversation about graduation, what you learned, and what you like to advise. So starting off, first question, and you may talk about anything, is, think about this, who or what creature maybe do you appreciate?
You may pass if you like.
A sea cucumber.
You may be serious if you like.
Hello?
What is the question?
Who do you appreciate for your family, teacher?
I appreciate my mom a lot.
I appreciate you, Peter, for being an awesome teacher. I also appreciate Jean, who's not here. Also Jean's dog, Layla. I love you.
Thank you. Sam thought I said creature. So he's gonna. So who do you appreciate? That's why he said sea cucumber.
Oh my God. Okay, so I appreciate my beautiful mother and my beautiful father, and Peter.
Thank you very much.
Oh my God.
This is the first year that Gene isn't here, and to remember, when he talked about students, he always said wonderful stories about each one. So in his memory, we're going to take a 15-minute silence to pretend that he here is talking. Just kidding. Next question. What are one or two notable moments at Shabazz? Again, what are one or two notable moments at Shabazz? Doesn't have to be on Shabazz, something with the Shabazz class if you went off campus. Can we start with you? You can take your
I was just going to say that probably my most memorable moment was standing in Gene's kitchen and eating pie with him and Peter, building compost bins, and probably my trip with Gene again to the Pagan Green Burial Cemetery. That's probably it.
Sorry that I just threw my tassel at the ground. I really liked, I got to go to Peter's room in the middle of every class, and I didn't really learn how to play piano, but I taught myself a little bit, and that was kind of cool. I appreciated that.
Thanks, Noah.
Pine Ridge service learning trip was incredible. Let's see. Probably just chilling in Peter's room, like every time at lunch, just like practicing drums and shit and jamming. So.
Cool. Thank you. Last question, and if you want anything else you want to say, go right ahead. The last question is, what are, because I see out here some students who are going to return to Shabazz next year, and I want you to think about words of wisdom you can give those students who are out there for the remainder at Shabazz. Words of wisdom to give the Shabazz students who are remaining.
You go first, Peter.
Or if you have anything else you'd like to say.
Do your best. Do your best.
I'll say something. I'd say get involved as much as you can.
Do as much art as you possibly can, even if you don't do art, do it. There you go.
Well, thank you very much. Nope, you guys go. You can go step out there. Thank you.
Testing. I hope great-grandma's computer is okay. No big deal, Peter. Next is Jeff Everett, our resource teacher.
Thanks. Please help me welcome to the stage Aaron Olson, Hannah Kwiatkowski, and Luna Abrish. You're up here. You did it. These two are taking it to sweet time. So there's so much that I could say about each of the three of these graduates, but it's a little bit warm in here, and we've been here, and I could go on and on and on, and if you've ever had me in class, you know that I do that, so I'm going to do my best to keep this short. I'm going to start with Aaron over here. Come on up. So whenever I would find out that Aaron was going to be in one of my classes, it just brought a smile to my heart because of what a kind young man he is. He would always take the time to ask me how I was doing, how my day was. He would always give his best in every class that I had him in. And at the end of each class, he would thank me for class. Now, this may seem like a small thing, and these may seem like small acts, and they were, but I believe that many small acts of kindness added together results in who you are and your character is absolutely amazing. And to that, I would like to say to you one final time, thank you for your class.
Thank you, Jeff. That was very nice of you to say. I want to thank, first of all, the teachers, of course, who helped me get through this school and get through my high school experience relatively painlessly. And another person I want to thank is my friends, all the new friends I've made at Shabazz, like Liam, Carl, and Melissa. You guys honestly helped me come out of my shell, and I thank you for that. End of my speech.
It's not that bad. Some of us showered. Next we have Hannah. Hannah joined us towards the end of her junior year and really was only at Shabazz for 3 quarters because this previous semester she began her nursing studies over at Edgewood with a fantastic start. The thing I think I will always remember the most about Hannah is just your energy. The boundless energy. No matter how you were feeling, up or down, you always were able to help others out. Whether it was your infectious smile, kind word, or just the corniest of jokes, which I totally appreciated. I'm going to miss you so much. In fact, I already have been missing you this last semester, so thank you so much and congratulations.
I was not a fan of high school, and given the opportunity, I would not do it over. But coming to Shabazz was one of the greatest things that has ever happened to me. I would like to first of all thank my family, who has been an amazing support through all the crap that life has handed us. I'd like to thank Jeff for being like a father to me. He's been great. We go out to lunch and he's just been such an amazing support. I want to thank Anita for helping me sign up for scholarships and get ready to go to Edgewood and just to learn how to do this whole adult thing. I'm gonna get there eventually. And I would finally like to thank all of the Shabazz staff who's just given me an amazing education and made all of the horrible parts of high school completely worth it, because I am ready to go to Edgewood and I am ready to start my life as a nurse, just like my grandma wanted. Thank you.
Come on up. So finally we have Luna. Luna also joined us during her junior year. I had her in the introductory Shabazz experience class, and right off the bat, I think I was telling you just how impressed I was. Your calm demeanor, your maturity, your intelligence, all of that was just immediately obvious to me. What wasn't obvious was what an amazing poet you are. She was a poet. I didn't even know it. In fact, recently, she won, it was in May, I think, just pretty recently, won the Brave New Voices Poetry Slam. Which is giving her the opportunity to go in July to San Francisco to compete in the national competition. So please help me in wishing her luck with that, and wishing her luck in her studies at the Evergreen State College next year. Luna.
Thanks, Veg. All right. Oh boy. It was never a question if I was going to graduate high school. I know I was going to graduate high school, but it was more of a question as if I would be proud of myself after finishing 4 years of high school.
and if I would grow or if I'd be proud of who I am as a person. And I really can't tell you that during my former years at my other school, I was proud of who I was. And being at Shabazz, I definitely grew a lot thanks to the teachers being so open and friendly. God damn. I knew this was gonna happen. Okay. They didn't treat you just like a student. They really opened up themselves, which allowed me to be more myself as well. And they really did love you, despite some of them thinking otherwise, acting like hard asses. They love you, and they do a lot for you. And, oh, this is going way terribly. Way more terrible than I thought it would. Okay. Also, the service learning classes, that also helped me grow as a person just more than I ever could have thought. Road to Indian Country, PGT, coming of age, you don't even know how much the teachers put in for this, and not even the teachers, the people who are behind the scenes. The list goes on, and you couldn't thank all the people because it's infinite. Like, we're so more interconnected than you think, and I'm so grateful for all these people who give their time, money, whatever it is. Like, thank you. Yeah, I'm just gonna stop there. Thank you.
Up next is Susan Kay, our social worker.
Hi, everybody. I would like to welcome Ezra Stahl up to the stage. There he is. Come on over here. Okay. You don't have to stand way back there by yourself. Okay. So, everybody, this is Ezra, and I'm honored to be able to introduce him tonight. So one thing I want to say to the students here, including Ezra, is that they're very grateful tonight, but they're talking about what we did for them or what we gave them, but they took it. You took it. You came here, you made this happen, and you stayed here. And you stayed in the uncomfortable growth zone here, and you're here, right? So it wasn't a passive activity for any of you. And Ezra is a perfect example of that, because he pushed himself. He took himself into a growth zone, which is not comfortable, and grew socially and academically. In addition, he was consistently supportive of other people's growth. So he, as a presence, he would make it possible for other people to not shrink into themselves, but to expand. I'm glad you were here. We're glad you took this opportunity to be here. And I will let you speak. Right. Thank you. Ezra Stahl.
All right. Wow. So I would just like to thank all the people that have supported me. So my family, the people I've met while I've been here at Shabazz, and the groups I've made. I don't know. It's been really incredible. I want to thank the teachers. You guys have imparted so much knowledge with me, especially with PGT. For the end of my senior year, I was in PGT, and that was a lot. It was way more struggle than I thought it would be. Yeah, I guess that's it. Thank you, guys.
Joe Spock, our physical education and health teacher.
Help me in calling up Emma, Zay, and Sean. Come on up. I just want to say a few words about each of them and then give the mic to them. I'll start with Sean. I wanted to share a secret about Sean. I'm not sure he even knows it yet or not, but we'll see. He never lets on to it, especially all through his academic career. He won't tell many teachers this, but he really does like to work hard. And I know that whatever he plans on doing, he is going to work hard at it if he finds out what he likes. So congratulations, Sean.
Thank you, Joe. I'd like to appreciate all of the staff and my family for everything they've given me, and especially the PGT support staff. The number is too big right now to thank at the moment because they're just so awesome. And yeah, thank you so much. You've made everything awesome here.
Next is Zay. I've had Zay in weight training numerous times. He plans on attending MATC to go into cooking. And I know in weight training, he always has a complete knowledge of what he's doing. He could probably do the class all by himself. But he doesn't stop there. He comes up to me, asks for new exercises, asks how to add this in, how to add that in. And I know that's going to be a good recipe for cooking, because you got to know what you like, but you're going to keep trying it and keep experimenting. So congratulations, Zay.
I'd just like to thank my mom and all my family for helping me get here. All the students that I met, making high school a little bit better than my home school. And all the teachers, especially Anita, without her I wouldn't be standing here. She worked really hard to make sure that I could get here, put a lot of things aside to make sure that I'm standing here today. So thank you, Anita, a lot. Just thank you, everybody.
Last but not least, Emma. Emma is super intelligent. Super intelligent. She's planning on attending University of California, Santa Cruz, and I know whatever she chooses to go into, she's going to be extremely successful. But it's more than just intelligence that Emma brings to the classroom. She is one of the most likable people in the room when she walks in. Everyone wants to work with Emma. All the teachers want to work with Emma because you know whatever she does, it's going to be successful. She makes everyone in the room do their best. Thank you, Emma.
I would just like to say that I've had a class with Joe every quarter, and this is the second time I've ever seen him wear pants. Sorry for roasting you. I would just like to thank Shabazz for reigniting my love of education, and I'm just very excited to be able to take that to college with me next year. I think that was something that's very special. And I would just like to apologize to all my teachers who I ever had first period, because I thought I could always make a 20-minute car ride in 10 minutes, and I never could.
Aaron Kyle, our social studies teacher.
All right. So when I started teaching years ago, I was introduced to something called the 16 Habits of Mind by Arthur Costa. Teacher stuff. But these are habits that masters in a wide range of field all show. It didn't matter if it was carpenters, CEOs, social workers, teachers, whatever. They all seem to show a predilection for these habits. And as I sat down to prepare these notes, I realized that the group of students that I was lucky enough to get to talk about had a lot of these habits, but also really excelled in at least one of them. And I'm going to tell you about that once I bring them up here. So if Jake Erickson, Liam Nikolai, and Taylor Liska would come up. Yeah, sorry. So when I first saw Jake, I asked him what he was doing here at Shabazz, but not in like a Shabazi way. Like I was really like, what are you doing here? Are you in the right room? Because I thought he was a Sherman student, like a 7th grader, 8th grader. But we figured it out, and he had an ID, and he was allowed in. And but which probably doesn't make sense right now, because what happened was Jake graduated early, and Jake did this awesome thing where he spent the last 2 quarters just taking like PE classes, and now he's a monster. Jake, he's all swole up, he's a big guy. And so during this year, I was lucky enough to have Jake in my nonviolent communication class, and it provided me the opportunity to see him display his habit of mind, which is responding with awe. And so I think probably in Jake's life, he hasn't had a lot of nonviolent communication. And when he heard about it, he just took it up, and he would apply the ideas from class like wholehearted, like with his whole being. And it would work like magic for him. And then he would come in the next day with this like infectious enthusiasm with how excited he was about it. And it made me want to show up and be his teacher. And people appreciate that kind of attitude, that passion. They want to get whipped up by something, and it's a habit that's going to serve you well. And next up, I know you're going to apply your massive biceps to becoming a fireman and a firefighter, and you would be the perfect firefighter, because you would save someone's life, and then you would be empathetic from your nonviolent communication. And then you would be like super excited about saving their lives, and they would become super excited too. So I really appreciate getting to experience that with you this year.
I'm Jake. I'm that guy. I didn't have a speech plan, but that seems like a thing we're doing. I was just gonna say thank you and go back, but thank you. I appreciate that. So yeah, like you said, I plan on being a firefighter. Joined a special thing, I forget, scholarship thing at MATC. Hopefully that helps. And you know, there's a lot of stuff going on when I went to the school, and like you said, I did like change a lot. I changed tremendously since the time that I first started going here till this time right now. One being my massive biceps, and yeah, I'm gonna leave it there. Thanks, man.
So, Taylor, can you come over here so I can kind of look at you while I talk? Yep. So, Taylor was a part of my world history course for medieval times, and next year Taylor plans on going to MATC for general credits, but really wants to do some stuff in theater, fine arts. And one thing I appreciate about Taylor is she didn't just do history to do history. Like, she picked out her passion and she applied that to what we were doing in class. But she was into musicians and artists, so she picked these really obscure artists to study, and not obscure by today's standards, but like obscure by medieval time standards, which made her work almost impossible, I think, to find the information. And through that difficulty, I was able to see that habit of mind in her search for information, and that is persistence. This woman, she persists. She did not give up on the task. Each day she worked hard, she dug through sources, she followed new leads, she tried new search, she just kept working and kept working. And in the end, she was able to find those nuggets of information that would get her to pass the class, but that was really secondary to this drive that she had. It would have been easy to give up, switch topics, but that doesn't seem to be who she is. Life can be cruel and hard and unforgiving, and to learn to persist to get your dreams is a lesson that many of us never learn. In our society, we aren't handed much, and at times you have to be willing to take it and just outwork everyone else. And you have that habit. You can achieve anything because you have that ability to focus hard to get what you want. And when others give up, you will keep going. So thank you, Taylor. I appreciated getting to know you and see you work. Persist on your dreams. Congrats.
Okay, as I said in his world history class, I don't want to listen to my own voice, so I'm not going to make you guys listen to my voice for too long either. It's still the one thing I remember from that presentation besides really anything. If I dug deep enough again, I'd remember, but it's been a wild ride for high school, and I honestly didn't think that I was ready to just give up on high school completely. Like, I had my freshman year, I was still in middle school because I was living in Minnesota at the time, and it was my last year of middle school. Things were great. I was going to go on to high school with all of my friends, and I had these friend groups from like kindergarten, and it was moving on, and things were going great. And then we moved here, and I went to East, and it was out of my comfort zone, so I didn't really have many friends, and I didn't really do much. I didn't even really do schoolwork there either, which I barely showed up. I didn't do schoolwork. It was just, things weren't good. And then I finally found here because it's an odd fact that not many know, but my cousin is married to Sally Schultz, so we had the inside scoop on Shabazz. And she gave me some information. She's like, you might like it. And now after being here at Shabazz, at East I would not talk, and now here I won't stop talking. But when going through things for senior speeches, I was trying to think of something to say, and I was looking through these profound quotes, and I was like, this doesn't work. It's not me, it's not what I am, it's not who I am. And before I do quick thank yous, after an hour of thinking, I think I summed up high school pretty well with a very relatable metaphor. High school is like a can of Pringles. You know, the big can? You know, your freshman, sophomore year, you're just digging the top layers of that Pringle can. You can fit your hands in there really well. And things work out. But when you get like 4 to 5 inches in that Pringles can, this junior, senior year, it takes a lot more planning, and you've got to think and come up with a game plan for how you're going to finish this. And you know, some people's hands are smaller and can fit further in the Pringles can. Some people just excel better in different situations, but in the end, we all finish that can of Pringles. Yeah, thank you. That took an hour, literally an hour of thinking. But just real quick thank yous before, because I know I'm talking way too long, but I really want to thank just the staff in general, and like specifically Robert, Tina, Aaron, Anita, Susan, and like the PGT, and Colleen. Colleen was awesome. And the PGT staff, it was like, they knew when I was upset or when something was going on, and it was like, they had like this hawk vision, and they could like figure out exactly when I was upset, and they would give me the support I needed and give me the time I needed, and I just really appreciate that. Yeah.
All right, you got this side? All right. So Liam was in several of my classes this year, and he's a kind and generous man. He reaches out to others to bring them along, and he speaks softly to everyone. At times it seems like Liam is so nice that you could ask him or maybe even get him to do anything you would want. And I think Liam even sees himself as like a bit of a softie as well. Liam was in my nonviolent communication class and my leadership class, both of which call for calmness and a softness and a kindness to be successful. And this is in Liam's wheelhouse. It might be his best characteristic. However, I've seen another Liam, a not so soft Liam. Because I have another class that Liam was in, my civics class. And civics can get a little contentious, a little competitive, a little realistic, maybe even a little mean. And this was a challenge for Liam. I think it would overwhelm him, because sometimes being nice in civics doesn't really work out. But this is where I saw Liam shine, and this is where I saw his habit come out. Whenever things would get out of hand or they were in danger of becoming too personal, Liam has this empathy. He has this ability to see it coming and prepare for it. Not only to see from the speaker, but also to see from the person being spoken to. He understands and he knows when to step forward for them, when to be an advocate, which isn't even a habit that Acosta talked about. Not everyone is able to do that. Not everyone is able to have empathy and advocate for others, to put yourself on the line. But this is what he has, and this is what is inside him. Now, next year, Liam's going to take a gap year and then maybe look at a career in engineering. But whatever he does, that empathy and that ability to advocate for those in needs, it's something we should all have, but few of us do. So thank you for showing me that, Liam. Congrats to you.
Grant Gadel, math.
So to the stage, if Isaac, Matt, and Solja could come. Reamer, come on up. So I'm going to start with the young man who I have known the longest on this stage. He's been with us for 14 quarters, and knowing Isaac is quite an adventure. And he seems to get most of it on video. I've seen videos of his pilot's license test. I have seen videos of him ziplining, and supposedly there's a video of him skydiving as well, but I've yet to see that one. I'll see if it actually exists. And he is about to go off on another adventure. Going off into the world, he's going to start at MATC, or Madison College, getting his breath requirements done, and then transferring to Embry-Riddle out in Arizona, where he's going to go into aviation sciences. So I present to you Isaac Reamer.
Hi, everyone. Yeah, it's a really good honor to be here today. I never thought I'd be here if I was still at East High School. I never saw this opportunity, so I'd like to thank my parents for actually showing me this place, and we did a lot of searching and ended up here. And you know, a lot of my peers and stuff, they were all supportive, and I really appreciate that. I don't think I would have gotten that nearly as much as I would have before. And all the staff here, big thank you to all of you. You're very supportive, especially Grant. He's been riding with me the whole time, like he said. I can't ever repay that. And then Tina, she knocked me down and then built me from scratch all the way up again. Yeah. That was the fun part, yeah. But I'd just like to give a big thank you to everyone. I really appreciate this opportunity. Thank you.
Soldia's been here almost as long, 12 quarters. And one of the best fighters I've ever seen. She knows what her goals are, and she will tackle anything in her way, overcoming any obstacle. They say, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. She is ridiculously strong after all the obstacles she's overcome. She is also wearing one of these great white sashes, meaning that she's going on to UW eventually, but she's starting off at Madison College and hoping to go into environmental work. So here's Soldier Gamble.
Hello. I did write something, so. High school is an experience. To some it is bad, to others it is good. However, to any Shabazoid, you won't find this school described in such bland adjectives. Shabazz is an extraordinary school. It is not extraordinarily different than any other high school, but I have found that the little things we do here count more than any one extraordinary event. Where you may not find 4.0 GPAs, honor classes, and the winning quarterback that leads the team to victory, you'll find compassion, selflessness, and a community that leads everyone to personal victory. When students gather at football fields on Friday nights, Shabazz students gather books to donate to local prisons. When other schools hold pep rallies, we hold small lunch parties to celebrate National Coming Out Day. When other schools go on out-of-state trips to compete, we compete by racing to build the most bunk beds for those who have never had one. When other students push to their next class, we have discussions about politics and social justice. These and so many other memories have changed my high school experience into an unforgettable life experience. So thank you to the founders of the school who took advantage of a small window of opportunity and acceptance to open this school. Thank you to all the instructors who have tirelessly worked to shove as many sticks in that window as they can to keep it open. Thank you to my amazing, beautiful mother who has always been accepting, supporting, and encouraging of everything I do and has encouraged me to believe in myself when I didn't. Special shout out to Grant, Katie, Anita, Jean, Steve, Kathleen, and Tina for always pushing me to excellence, inspiring me and teaching me things no one else could. You guys are the heart of the school, and even when or if you leave, all of your unique, vibrant spirits will live on. I, for one, won't forget everything you've done and taught me. There are probably so many other things I should be saying, but I'll leave with this. Teachers, please never let that window of acceptance close. I hope that you will always find the strength to keep going and say to yourself, just one more year, every year. Parents, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Your support for this school is unmatched and truly a driving force of its excellence. Students, never stop believing in the power of community. Know that service work is the best self-help out there. And to everyone, stay informed and stay powerful. Although this life experience is coming to an end for me, I know that my time here has prepared my mind, heart, and soul to be an unstoppable force in the world. I only hope to use it to repay you all someday.
Matt has come here more recently, though he's still been here for 9 quarters. And when he came to me as a math teacher, he didn't have a lot of math, which I found it to actually be an exciting challenge. The thing is, he was super inquisitive. He never backed down, and he kept on asking questions. always trying to push that to the next step, whether it was in the classroom or out on Road to Indian Country. He was always sort of pushing himself, even when you got really sick on Road to Indian Country. Always pushing himself. He is going on to Masson College, starting actually in just a couple weeks for summer classes, and then going for the 2+2, going on to transfer to another four-year university. So here is Matt Filkowski.
Thank you, Grant. I didn't write anything, but I guess when I started at Shabazz, I was coming out of being homeschooled for my whole life, so I didn't have any experience with math or anything really, and I didn't really, I guess, believe that I would ever end up graduating, starting there. But thanks to my parents, my family, my sister, who all supported me, and all the staff who all supported me through this whole journey, here I am, I guess. So thank you guys. Good night.
All right. So Isaac doesn't know this, but he actually helped me write this introduction. There's something really nice about being here at Shabazz, because the kids get a fresh start, and they get a fresh start with us. And when they come, it's almost, someone could ask me, how well do you know him? And I would say, I guess not at all. But then, a year later, I would be at a person's launch party to their first album in the audience as they're up on stage. And listening to them was pretty sweet. It was almost like candy. He says sometimes that he doesn't do it, all he says all he does is nothing. But it's pretty impressive nothing when he's working on his second album by the time he's graduating high school. He's been here for 10 quarters, but he will soon be MIA, and not because of the CIA, but going on into the world as a musician, exploring the country, and highlighting Detroit. To prevent you from getting stuck in some strawberry jam, I suggest that you take a shield with you to keep out ideas like nobody likes you. No matter, I'll still think you're really cool and smile when you come back to visit this school. I give you Isaac.
Wow, that was many references that I never heard before. Well, yeah, I thought that I was going to have something to say as soon as I got up here, and probably no. But I don't know, I'd just like to say that I would definitely not be doing as well as I think I'm doing in high school right now if I hadn't came here. I probably would have kind of just felt like it sucked and maybe graduated, maybe needed to take some summer classes and stuff, but going to Shabazz made me able to not have to worry about that and to be able to do stuff with my life actually and not have to have school consume my entire life, which is pretty nice. And I'd like to, again, thank all the teachers and stuff, because that's been pretty amazing having these people here, because they're a lot better than those regular teachers you usually get. And thanks to also all the people that have made my time here really nice, and like students I met there. And that's it.
All right. So that's the, let's get a round of applause for our students. We do believe this is their final assessment. You know, coming up and speaking in front of 250 people isn't easy. And also our staff and their willingness to take risks and come up here and speak as well. But so they passed their final assessment. And now you get a real treat because we have a tradition here at Shabazz where the staff sing a song. And if you look at the back of your programs, is it the back? Inside cover, you'll see the song Teach Your Children. And please join us, please join us as we sing to our graduates, Teach Your Children by Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young. This is going back to the roots of Shabazz in the 70s. So the staff is going to come up here and join us. This is for you, graduates. This is all for you. We love you. Thank you for all your work you've done.
As we all get as far from the
Somebody else come over here.
I can't sing. I know. I'll be here with you.
It's a bigger stage.
Can you say we're not going to fall off?
I'll sing.
Okay. I always stand by couch. Everyone is trying to get as far away from the microphone as they possibly can.
It's not just a sorrowful song. Sometimes it's not always a good song.
Oh, you did.
That ends our graduation ceremony. Congratulations, Shabazz 2017. Have a safe evening.
Don't you ever ask them why. If they told you you would cry, just look at them and sigh.
For DVD copies of this program, go to mmmsd.tv and click on Video Order Form.